Hey, Matt Brown. We're going to do some more Smashing Pumpkins from the Melancholy album. This one is Bodies. Real simple song to play, just a few riffs to talk about here. So what I was just playing is the intro riff and the main verse riff is what I'm going to call it. So really simple. All we're doing, and before I explain it, the tuning for this one, like most songs on this album, is down a half step. So every string's down a half step, then you're doing a drop D type deal on top of that. Okay, so this main riff, we're playing octaves, and your octaves are going to be on the 6 and 4 strings at the same fret. I like to do these with just the middle and ring finger. So we're doing a full measure of 16th notes on an F octave, so that's at the 3rd fret. Then coming up to the 7th fret and doing basically half a measure, so 8 16th notes. And then doing the rest of the half of the measure with an E note at the 2nd fret. So all of it together is... Alright, so pretty simple. The other guitar, the overdubbed guitar, is playing an A octave on the 5th and 3rd strings. So that's the 12th and 14th frets. And you're playing this for both of the 2 measures. So just 16th notes for 2 measures. Alright, that's it. So let's move on and check out the next riff. Alright, that's the next riff. So a similar idea rhythmically. We're doing one bar of full bar of 1 octave, and then splitting it up between 2 octaves in the next bar. So this part, we're doing an E octave for the full measure, doing a D. So the way that you do the D is open 6th string and then the 5th fret of your 5th string, and then to a G octave. So again, is the riff. So we're going to play that for a while, then go back to the main riff, and then we have a new riff to talk about. So let's check that out. Alright, so that's the next riff. This is kind of like an alternate verse riff. And what we're doing is we're doing a similar rhythmic idea. Here we're doing a chord, or an 8th note at the beginning of the measure is the first measure. So we're playing a G5 power chord at the 5th fret, 3 strings, and on the last 16th note of the measure, it sounds like he's doing a quick G flat 5, just as a quick passing chord, and then in the next measure you're going to strum an F5 for 2 full beats. And then sliding that up to an A5 at the 7th fret. And then strumming the open strings as a transitional thing. So I'll play all of this real slowly. Alright, so let's check out the But Nobody's Ever Knew part. Alright, so that's this riff here. So what we're doing is a C5 add 9 power chord, and that is 10, 10, 12 on your 3 lowest strings. Then we're going to do 8 16th notes of just a D5 power chord. So just your 3 open low strings. And then we're going to do an F5 add 9 for 2 beats. So that is 3, 3, 5 on your 3 low strings. So that riff slowly. Alright. So, yeah, that takes care of that riff, and now let's check out the clean little breakdown part. Okay, so there are two guitar parts that are being played here. I'll explain what's going on, and the effects here play an awful big part of this. So here's the main guitar. Alright, so the chord that you're arpeggiating in the first measure is an F chord with an A in the bass. So the bass note that you're playing is the open 5th string, then you've got 3, 2, 1, 1. And here's the arpeggio. I'll do it real slowly. So that's the first measure. Here's the second measure. So we're playing the F chord for /A for the first half of the measure, then switching to a C chord. So here's how that measure goes slowly. So what you're doing is strumming the 5th, 4th, and 3rd strings, then just the 4th string, and then for the C chord, you're just strumming the 4th and 5th strings, and then playing the open G string. So again, real slowly. Okay, so the other guitar is it's in standard tuning, and it sounds like there's like a whammy pedal effect on it that's taking the sound up. So I think my best guess as to what he's playing is he's playing in just an F bar chord and changing it to a minor there, to an F minor. So. And then the next bar, what he's doing is he's playing an F major 7, just a tiny chunk of it. So that's 2, 1 open on your high string for a half note. And then playing a C chord and just playing the 3 lowest notes of it. So that takes care of this section. At the end of it, the distorted guitar does like a power slide type deal back into the main riff. This time around, though, the main riff is played with like this overdubbed lead melody part that's kind of like a counter melody to the vocal melody. Alright, so let's check out that. So I'm going to break this down phrase by phrase and talk about it that way. So here we go. 1, 2, ready, go. Okay, so that's it. We're just kind of playing out of like our F major scale, and so we're sliding into the 7th fret of the 4th string. Then we're doing 7, 9, 7, 7, 9, 7, 9, I should say. So, all right. Then we're gonna bend the 9th fret up a half step and let it release, and then slide. So that all together, 1. Okay, the second time we do it, it's pretty much the same, but there's a little rhythmic variation at the end, so we get 1. So that's it. I'll play it slow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. All right. The next time we play it, it's kind of like the first time, but then there's a different ending to it. So this sounds like this. 2, ready, go. So this is where he's, you can't deny forever. He's kind of lining up with that vocal phrase. So. All we have left to talk about now is the way that the song ends. We've covered all of the riffs, so just kind of plug in the appropriate riff where it comes in the song. So the main riff ends with an alternate second measure to the riff. So instead of doing the A to E octaves, we're going to do this. going to end in the relative minor of the key of D minor with a D5 power chord. So this slowly, what you have is so we're coming up to an A5 power chord here at the 7th fret. So we have 8th note, 2 16th notes, then another 8th note. We're going to strum an F5 for 2 16th notes. Then we're going to do an E5, 4 16th notes, and an 8th note. Then do a D5 to end. So real slowly. And connecting it with the first measure. Cool. So that just holds out. And that'll do it for Bodies by Smashing Pumpkins. I'm planning to do a lot from this album. So yeah, stay tuned and I've got more coming. Alright, see you guys around.